podcast, not rehearsed again.
I know, right?
Just in
fucking live every day.
We're in sync.
I know, we've got this. We're in time, which is weird.
Yeah, it's weird. Hello,
podcast 20.
20, yeah, we're
20. We're into the 2-0 now.
Yes, and I'm happy to report I don't think there's any deaths.
No.
Yeah, it's been a nice
as far as I know, there isn't.
No,
Rick Torn died, the actor.
Yeah, not wrestling related.
No,
but then again, I did mention Keith Flint a few podcasts back.
Someone else died as well, but I can't think who it was.
Oh, the horse guy, horse commentator dude, big sideburns.
Oh, yeah, he died, yeah.
Yeah, but no wrestling related and no suicides.
An elephant died.
Okay.
Sounds stupid, but me and the missus went on holiday and we went to Peyton Zoo and saw this like old elephant that was like one eye and everything, and the other half had been put down a few years back and everything. And then literally like 2 days ago, put down and collapsed it itself. I was like,
I was going to say, if you seen it die in front of you,
just suddenly collapsed. Keeper.
No, I was going to say, let's go. Just go straight.
So I just dropped that down. I don't know.
You're just there like everyone dies, Josh.
Everyone dies.
Yeah. So yeah,
you're dying the moment you're born.
You're born, then you die. Extreme Rules 2019. Yeah, which was more extreme than last year. Not exactly extreme.
Still not extreme enough.
No,
but I'm still. Overall, I actually enjoyed myself.
Yeah, I was okay with it.
It's not perfect, not by a long stretch, but there's still good, if not great matches, but maybe a great match. I don't know. There was
one thing that will definitely come to play a lot during this is they. I know why they did it in. Was it Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Extreme City, it's where ECW was born. So Extreme Rules Philadelphia, great. Maybe the Philadelphia crowd were expecting a lot more extreme because that's what they're used to. The extreme crowd. But to me, the crowd weren't great that night.
No, they were hot for a couple of bits.
Yeah, but not for.
But not for what you're expecting.
Yeah, like, come on, get off your feet. They're doing good shit here. So, anywho. Did you watch the pre-show?
I didn't watch the pre-show, but I found out the results.
First match was Shinsuke Finn.
Yeah, this was a little bit of a shock, really. I mean, they did one quick thing on Raw or SmackDown or something, and then they said, they're going to have a match, and the last minute it was announced, weren't they? It's the shock win I just didn't expect. Going in hindsight now, we know that Finn wants to stop to recharge his batteries. I understand why they did it. And if that's what it is, then that's absolutely fine because I want Shinsuke to be important again and be a big deal again. He hasn't been for this year at all.
No.
And if that putting the belt on him makes him that, I'm absolutely fine. If it means that Finn's gone to recharge his batteries and he comes back and comes back better, then given time, I think it'll end up being the right call.
It was one of them where when it happened, it was like on one side I was like, okay, maybe trying to make the pre-show a little bit more watchable or something like that. But I still think the Intercontinental title is such a prestigious belt that if you're going to do it, no offence to these belts, but Cruiserweight 24/7, maybe a tag team. On that note, where the hell are the women's tag champions?
That's one thing that's pissing me off now. It's like they've had those since Mania and they just don't do anything. They had like the thing going on with the Kabuki Warriors, which is a shit fucking name anyway. And they're just not. They've had a match in Japan and that's it. And then they say, we're going to get a title match, but they haven't announced when they're going to happen. The reason why is because they don't know. That's why they said, we're going to get one, but we don't know when. We're going to get one. I reckon they get one at SummerSlam, and if they lose it, which I reckon they probably will, it's going to be such a massive disappointment because they've had those belts for so long and they've done nothing with it. And technically, this will be their first proper title defence.
Yeah, it's
pathetic.
It's more, I just want to see it on TV.
Yeah, you gave them these titles. You gave women tag titles for the first time ever. It's an amazing thing. And since they've had them, nothing's been done.
In a way, you've proven why Sasha right or why she had a history.
Yeah, you are.
So, but when the matches went out, because the two matches that were announced just off the cuff were Shinsuke Finn for the Intercontinental title,
and then KO
Ziggler, yeah,
which we'll get into later.
But when it happened, the match was okay. Again, it was a shock win, and I was like, okay, cool, I'm down with that in a way. Just a weird to do on the pre-show. I found out later it was one of the first Heyman rulings. But
he found a Shinsuke or something.
Well, he wanted Finn to drop the belt because rumour has it he wants to put Finn in the club at some point.
Like a stable?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Finn was in the club in New Japan when AJ wasn't there.
Got to turn him heel.
Yeah. But he was pissed off that it was on the pre-show. That would have been a Vince stamp. Which, we'll get to this match later. But the tag team title match maybe that should be on the pre-show. I've seen Revival Usos a million times.
I think this is the thing now. With yes, we know that Heyman and Bischoff have now got control, and this week is the proper reset button because they've got full control starting this week. They still have to get everything okay by Vince, so that's the bitter aftertaste. You may get some things you want, but not in necessarily the way that they want them.
Yeah.
And you'll just straight away you'll see through the facade and go, well, that was a Vince call still.
Yeah, I think
it's a shame.
So the news around the grapevine now is that Finn after August is going to take a couple of months off.
Yeah.
Not because of injury, just he requested it and they said so he could charge his batteries, which it's crap that we're not going to see him, but I'm fine with that. Everyone deserves a break.
Mm-hmm.
I've just shown the friend mode right here a bit on Raw. He usually hasn't watched Raw, but
I've watched a couple of bits. I haven't finished watching it yet, but we have to see this bit just for the sake of
for the purpose of my theories and shit. Bray Wyatt has debuted as The Fiend finally on not at Extreme Rules on Raw, and he attacked Finn Balor.
Great way actually, with the music kind of dissipating and the lights flickering.
Awesome.
Sister Abigail, and the lights only came on as he delivered to Sister Abigail.
Yeah,
and then they flickered again, and he was gone. So fleeting, but more than enough. It's a tidbit enough.
I like that he attacked Finn in a way because that was the rivalry that never really finished because of illnesses and stuff. But what I'd like to see happen is obviously, to me, they're going to do Bray Finn at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Bray should destroy Finn to the point that's why Finn goes into hiding.
I'm fine with that. Now, if that's the way they're going, which it seems like that is the way they're going to go, and I'm absolutely fine with it because I think those two can put on an incredible match.
Mm-hmm.
If you want, being as we're having Finn go for a break, so it's irrelevant of him winning or losing because he's going to go for a break anyway. If you want to put Bray over strong and really put your stock in this character, like they have been doing with the tapings, but with now him being in front of you, if you want to put this guy over strong and really look at it and go, holy shit, he's really legitimate now. Like he's like terrifying. He could take on anyone. He has to beat the Demon.
Well, I was going to say
normally I wouldn't like that.
No,
because I wouldn't because it's the Demon, and I think I've said it in a previous podcast. I wouldn't want that. Because the Demon is such a big deal. But I think at this juncture, given everything that's kind of coming together, that is how you put the Fiend over as strong as you need him to be. You have him beat the Demon.
Yeah, I mean, one of the rumours a while back was they were thinking of giving Bray, obviously not like a WrestleMania one, but a similar streak to what The Undertaker had. So like a long time no one can beat Bray, which I'm down with.
Yep.
I think at SummerSlam, regular Finn should go against Bray, and Bray just absolutely destroys him. Finn goes away for a couple of months. He might, maybe when he comes back, he doesn't have to go straight back on TV. He can go to the live shows for a while. And maybe Survivor Series or the Rumble when Bray's kind of got a list of victims. Like, I'd be cool not even seeing the Demon. Just messages, like mind games and stuff, like the Demon is coming.
Like
the Survivor Series.
Yeah, like the Y2J second coming type.
Yeah, but you know who it is, but it's like the Demon's returning at the Survivor Series Royal Rumble. But as the shock value, maybe by dirty tactics, who knows? Even though there's this grand thing where everyone's like, well, he's back, he's obviously going to win. Bray still wins. Maybe by the skin of his teeth, but he beats the Demon, like you say. And I don't want to rush this potential club reunion.
No,
I want Finn to get desperate enough that he goes, I can't do it as Finn, I can't do it as the Demon, fuck this, and then he joins the club at maybe WrestleMania or something. And then I don't want to see the Demon for a good 2 years. So, like, he's just club, and then when they finally turn
yeah, because the Demon and the club, they doesn't work together.
No.
It needs to be just Finn.
If he's just Finn, and then when the time comes, the Demon comes back, it'd be a huge payoff. So, yeah, that was one match pre-show. Sorry.
Yeah, we kind of get through. Cruiserweight, nothing interesting as far as I remember. Everyone just kind of went, it was just a random match, like standard match.
Yeah, it's just standard Cruiserweight.
And then Gulak retains.
Yeah, there was nothing really to report. Maybe a couple of good spots, but exactly the kind of spots you'd expect from a Cruiserweight match.
Yeah.
So
that's Cruiserweight done then.
Yeah,
right,
main show. The first match was the Revival defending. No, it wasn't. No,
it wasn't. It was Shane and Drew versus Taker and Reigns, which was a weird one because I sat there thinking, I don't think Taker's ever been on first, has he?
No, I don't think he has, or Roman for that matter. Or he might have. I don't know. But the thing was, the crowd.
He has when the Shield took on CM Punk.
Yes.
So he has. That was the first match. I don't know how I fucking remember that.
It's because it's Punk.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. I got why they did it in a kind of shock value thing, and it did get the crowd going. And I think
it's good. You got to have a good match to start.
Yeah,
it's just a bit weird seeing Taker on first. It's just a weird, surreal thing.
Yeah, I think what they did was, and it kind of worked for a while. It's like, let's get the crowd rocking straight from the get go. Unfortunately, after that match, it's kind of like, well, we've seen kind of what we wanted to see now. Or one of the main things, so we're going to have to... they kind of like expelled most of their energy in that first match. And it was a really good match.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it was phenomenal.
No.
But I would say that it's definitely better than the Goldberg one. Because that was trash.
I was really impressed with Taker.
I think the no-holds-barred stipulation helped.
And the tag team.
The tag team thing, so you got him quite secure with Reigns.
He can rest.
He can rest a little bit. He can take a couple of spots again and rest, so he doesn't have to do too much over wrestling and constant. They can take their time with it and stuff. And I really think that the tag and the no holds barred, it definitely helped. And it wasn't the best of the best, but it was still an enjoyable opener. Definitely.
Yeah, I think it was one of them where I was a little bit nervous going in. Because especially when like Taker was doing old school and stuff, every time I was like, I don't, at his age, you think one slip, that'd be it. He was perfect. And it was the best I'd seen for years, but not in the sense of, okay, he's got like 3-4 more matches in him.
No.
If he ended it like that, which I don't think he will, that's a fine match to go out on. But it shows to me that maybe he's got that one more one-on-one match and then goes away.
Yeah. I think the Goldberg thing was just a real big
it was a ball, it just...
Like, even with the chokeslams in this match, they worked so well, but the ones that he did with Goldberg were terrible. And it's down to the fact that one, Goldberg's not a good wrestler, because he's not.
Yeah, he just
Riddle's right, he ain't a good wrestler.
Yeah.
And he's too heavy.
Yeah.
He's too big of a bloke, he's too much of a beast.
There was one near fuck up right near the end, I think, when he was putting Shane up for the tombstone. Where I don't know whose fault that was. It might have been Shane's.
I don't know. I can't really call. I can't call. He went through it and then he stopped and then I heard the commentator go, he's toying with him. He's toying with him. He fucked up. Yeah, just call it for fuck's sake. So just say there's a slight misstep. Yeah. Don't say he was toying. He wasn't toying. He made a misstep. Then he went into the tombstone.
I think Taker at one point, when he kind of stumbled with it, grabbed Shane's back head, and kind of turned it into like either a character shaking of the head or kind of like, nah, not yet, Shane. Kind of toying with him in a personal behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I was fine with it. He said good spots like the coast to coast and the elbow. Shane nailed it. Absolutely nailed it.
I like that imagery as well with
Drew.
Oh,
I loved it
when he popped up behind Taker. I was like, oh my god! And then unfortunately, it was still good with the spear that came out of nowhere. Because
the camera angle was great.
I didn't even see Reigns. It's like he was like Drew was on the floor by the time I figured it out.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, that was all great.
I agree with everything apart from the winners.
I still think that's fine because I thought as soon as it was going to be the first match, I thought, well, I know he's winning because they always go with a nice high pop at the start.
Possibly, but the two guys didn't need it.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you that I think it should have been there to build Drew up, and Drew should have been, even if he had pinned Reigns, it still would have made a big deal for Drew. But I wanted to point in our league, so
I know what you.
So I want to take Reigns to win.
It was just it kind of has that old adage of like, even with Shane being a non-wrestler and whatnot, you want a recent guy to knock him off his pedestal, and they get a legend in to do it. And so I'll be a Taker fan till I die, so whatever. But yeah, it was okay. I just still think like, if you're going to push Drew, he needs to win every now and then. He still hasn't won on pay-per-view for ages.
And I have seen the clip on Raw of him losing to Cedric Alexander, and I saw that, I went, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it's like, okay, shock value, or maybe...
It's not shocking, it's just disappointing. No one gives a shit about Cedric Alexander. He hasn't been around for ages, and then he just pops up out of nowhere and wins against Drew fucking McIntyre.
I hope to God if they kind of do it the whole, Drew's been... running on 10 out of 10, and now he's got to turn up to 11, so he's aggressive anyway. He puts more aggression behind it. Mate, I'm hoping, because they can't keep doing this.
No, it's not. So the match overall.
Yeah, apparently I thought Taker said something else to Roman in the ring. I can't remember what I thought he said, but it turns out he said, "This is your yard now." Which is a huge, like, even if it's like a scripted thing, for Taker to say,
you would have heard it.
Yeah, for Taker to say that, that's a big deal of like almost passing on the torch.
Yeah,
I'm still not buying it. I don't see Roman Reigns as the next Undertaker. But and apparently after Taker was very pleased with his performance, and apparently backstage he'd been like hugged Drew. which means like you guys in the future kind of thing. No disrespect to Shane, but he's not a wrestler.
No.
He's just a stunt man.
Still a better wrestler than Goldberg.
Yeah, but then it was the Raw Tag Team
so Revival versus...
for the millionth time.
Yeah, Revival versus Usos, which, again, I didn't really care about. It was an alright match, though. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best of the best, but it was alright.
I think, again, it was bad card placement. Because, again, Shinsuke and Finn, and that should have been swapped over, I think. And, again, it's one of those matches where people have seen it so many times when you start a high like that Undertaker-Drew match, and then go to, now here's a match you've seen all the time.
Yeah, it's your peak straight down to your trough, isn't it?
Yeah, and it was one of them where it's like, no one really gave a shit who the winners were really going to be.
But the only reason I gave a shit is, again, because of our prediction league. We want the Revival to win, and they did.
I would have received, in my head I was thinking, it would be ridiculous now. I know Revival are still heading towards the door.
I'll be honest though, even though it was like one that none of us really give a shit about, it was one of the harder ones to call.
It was.
Because, Revival were the champs, but I forget half the time. And then the Usos think, well, they're massive fans of the Usos as well. I think it literally could go any way.
Yeah, in my head it was like, the Usos always win, surely they've got to give the Revival some victories. But on the flip side, I was like, why would they give a shit about Revival still leaving? They're just going to keep putting the Usos over or whatever. But they didn't. They did that whole, we're going to have that Raw Tag Titles.
And I think it is the right move because they say Revival needs some wins.
Yeah,
but nothing really stands out to the match. Really,
no.
it was a good match and some good spots.
Yeah,
but nothing really stood out.
They never do a bad match. No, it was just right. This is where again I was like begging the crowd to get up. Because it was Black versus Cesaro.
Yeah, this was a good match. But
it was so stiff.
Yeah.
And I was like, not stiff in a good way.
Yeah. But the crowd weren't... They were invested a tiny bit with a couple of spots.
Yeah, but it wasn't
like the bicycle knee shot to the Cesaro's face and then the black mass out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But apart from that, the crowd weren't really going for it, which is a shame because I was going, this is a great match.
It was a great match. Absolutely match of the night for me.
My only downside is that I could have gone for an extra couple of minutes. But don't get me wrong, the Black mass out of nowhere was great, and obviously we knew Black was going to win anyway because it makes sense. But it didn't diminish Cesaro in this match at all because of how well Cesaro did with all the uppercuts he was nailing on him every time. The whole match itself was put together really well. I just would have happily gone for a couple of extra minutes.
Yeah.
It was even going to Cesaro's swing. As soon as he lets him go, he kind of lets him go, and Black kind of rolls back and rolls straight back up, and then Cesaro is kind of not looking at him; he's looking away.
Yeah.
As soon as he turns around, Black mask, good night. He thinks that he's got Black because he's got him dizzy and dishevelled. Yeah. And then he just turns around and Black mask, good night. It just seemed that the Black mask, it was so out of nowhere. I thought, I could have gone for a couple of minutes more.
Yeah, it was.
That's my only gripe. Apart from that, it's a great match.
Yeah, as far as the time limit goes, it's like, there were two matches that show that could have gone a bit long for me. That and the WWE Championship, and they could have. We'll get to it later, but they could have just not done Ziggler Owens.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's a statement, but we'll get to that.
And also, I think Taker Roman spent too much time in the ring after the match. Like, it was like 5 minutes of them just kind of respecting each other.
Yeah, shit. When that was happening, I was thinking,
get on with it.
Someone to turn?
I genuinely thought at one point I thought because Taker kind of his music hit first, then he kind of did the whole "stage is yours" to Roman, but it was still in the ring, and he kind of walked to the opposite side. Like if Roman just runs across and spears him, like whoa, no, he didn't. But, so Black's it was a shame because I generally was watching it. These two are making a statement that they've got chemistry, they both can go, we both know they could go for ages, and yet the crowd weren't invested in it, which unfortunately is going to make everyone's backstage.
Yeah, people like Vince are so stupid that he'll look at it and go, they don't care. So, but we did, they didn't, but we fucking did.
But I love when Cesaro he sat cross-legged at the start.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Like, you arrogant prick.
Yeah. And then Black did it like when they landed out the ring. He was just like, if you want to play games, all right, we'll play games.
It really was a good, solid match.
They made it feel like a fight, which is what you wanted.
And considering that technically we only had one promo to build this up, because yes, he's been going for weeks into the camera going, someone pick a fight with me, and it's all been great, but you didn't have a fucking clue it was going to be.
Yeah.
And then literally the only promo you got was Cesaro sitting down on the go home show going, I'm here to pick a fight. And I was more enough invested, and not because of the characters, not because of the lack of promo or anything. I'm looking at going, these guys are athletes. These are good guys that I'm happy to see go at it with each other.
Yeah, it was again. I've found out allegedly Black has been getting promo classes. Now, I never had problems with his promos in NXT, and they're not bad now, but he's kind of... I liked his darker persona. Him, getting agitated and angry and kind of going, bleh, and stuff. It's like, no, I want you to be calm, cool, and collected. When Cesaro turned up on the chair, again, it was only little things, but I thought it was one of the best promos he did because the way he delivered it is like, I'm here to pick a fight with you. It's like, oh, that's it. It's like, if you're just that very calm, cool, collected, like, I'll fight you. That's all his character really has to be.
It's good because it's minimal talking, because as we know, Cesaro's not great with the promos and everything. It's more his ability and everything, and how over he is with us. So if you can do that where he's minimal,
his delivery and expression was bang on. That promo.
It's a good match overall.
Yeah,
really
we all knew Black was going to win.
Yeah, but it still didn't diminish.
We watched it because we wanted to see the match, not the winner.
Definitely.
Next was the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bayley against Nikki Cross, Alexa Bliss. There was the weird thing with the Street Profits beforehand. One of them seems to have got a thing for Nikki Cross.
And then the match itself,
it was alright.
Boring.
Yeah, it was.
If I'm honest, if I'm being brutally honest, I was bored.
Yeah.
Nothing really amazing happened. It went exactly the way I expected. The only thing that didn't happen that I thought may happen is that Sasha was going to return, because they teased it a little bit with the way Nikki Cross was talking, saying you need a friend in your corner that's as good as Alexa to me, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I was like, are they teasing this?
I think you mentioned her.
Because I've heard that Sasha's talking to WWE again.
Yeah.
I don't know whether she's sorted it.
She's on the SummerSlam posters.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought this would be the opportunity to either set up something against Bayley or set up something to help Bayley win, whatever. But I thought maybe she was going to come back. She didn't. So that would have made the match better for me. It would have been popping more for it. But the rest of it, I was just kind of meh.
The match was kind of on one side, I was sometimes expecting maybe a breakdown in communication with Alexa and Nikki, like the whole
that didn't even
Bayley's
happen.
point. But even at the end of the match, Alexa still looked quite chummy with Nikki.
Yeah, like they were sitting there like hugging each other, kind of like it is what it is. And I was thinking, right, this is the moment. This is the moment she goes nuts on Nikki and beats her up. But it doesn't mean that has to be the end of their relationship, because you can go into Raw or SmackDown next week and just Nikki just goes, I deserve that, I'm sorry, blah, 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 and still clutching at straws. And then eventually they slowly build it up. But to have her do nothing, I was like, the way it didn't seem right.
The way things are going is making it seem like this might turn out that Alexa's actually made a genuine friendship. Like, I know what you'll think of me, I know what my reputation is, but I'm friends with Nikki. Or when Alexa finally gets the belt, she's like, I don't need you anymore. Something like that. Yeah. But I kept thinking, I think they just instead of burying Nikki and Alexa, put Bayley over. It's a struggle with them.
I don't think it buried him.
No.
I don't think it buried him.
It just made Bayley look a little bit stronger more than burying Nikki.
It was just a nothing match for me. It just didn't seem to do anything.
Yeah, I genuinely thought Sasha might come out, because I was thinking, have Bayley win, have Nikki and Alexa attack Bayley afterwards, Sasha come out, save Bayley from them,
and then when they celebrate,
and then attack Bayley, because if they build to a heel Sasha is great.
Yeah, she is.
Sasha versus Bayley at SummerSlam, I'm in.
Yeah, I hope they do that, but it's just you've only got 4 weeks now. You could have started it, on Sunday.
So but it
is what it is.
Yeah, still women's champion Bayley.
Yes.
Next was quite interesting. Was the last man standing between Braun and Bobby?
Yeah. Now this match, before it began, I'll be honest, I didn't really care.
No, I didn't.
The only thing that invested me was them going through the Titantron thing the other week.
Lord,
that was all great. That was all, you knew it was a Heyman writing thing, and that was all great. I enjoyed that, but I thought that was the end of their feud. I didn't think that was the catalyst for another fight. I thought that was that was going to be the end of it, but no, it wasn't. And I'll be honest, it shocked me. It was a good match. They used a lot of the arena. They went in and out of the ring. They threw barricades. They jumped off stuff. They used different weapons.
I don't think they went in the ring once, I think they might have at the start.
At the start.
Yeah, but I don't think they ended back up in there.
No.
So
I enjoyed it.
I'm
not saying it was the best ever, but I enjoyed it. I thought, considering this is Extreme Rules and these guys are big fucking bastards and they've got that stipulation they got on top of it, I think, well, this is what I expect.
Well, going in on one hand, I was like, these guys are pretty much got zero momentum going for them at the minute. But on the other side, when they were coming through, I think even it says to my brother, like, these two are massive guys. They are going to kick the crap out of each other. I think it was... I did definitely enjoy it, and the crowd did. That's when the crowd came alive, because it was almost like, well, they're amongst us and stuff. But when I look at it, it was almost... Because it was a brawl, and you know, even the backstage segments felt very attitude out to me. It wasn't like a wrestling clinic kind of match. It was a lot of them just kind of going up the stairs and throwing kicks and punches to almost create the illusion of... Not the illusion, because it worked, but it's like, this is awesome. This is a fight. This is brutal.
Yeah.
When they did get backstage, I was looking at stuff like, please, throw me through something. Yeah, I know it's a stadium, but just reimburse the stadium.
Yeah, maybe that was the only time it dipped a little bit, is when they were backstage.
I know you used the merch stand.
Used more than that.
Yeah, it was, but it's their merch stand.
Yeah, I'd agree that was the only time it dipped.
Yeah, it was a good match. I'm not going to take anything from it. The only thing I will take from it is that as good as the final moment was, when Braun slammed him like through, well, that hole.
Padded.
But it was just... It's obvious plywood and cardboard. They need to get...
It was so padded. Yeah. Like, as soon as it went through, like, so it was like, that looks padded as shit.
Yeah.
But it's because it is.
Get something with at least... Even if it is just soft stuff, give something with substance so it could, you know...
Feels like, or looks like it's...
your illusion of these guys are using, like, everything but the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
Suddenly goes, like, they use everything but the kitchen sink and ended it with a mattress.
Yeah.
So,
I do quite like how it ended, though, with him blasting through, like...
Yeah, that was...
Just like the Kool-Aid guy. Oh, yeah! Straight through. Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Well, I kind of liked Lashley's performance as well, because from the get-go, because Lashley came out first, he was like pacing, waiting for Braun. He looked all business. I thought, right, you don't need Leo, you don't need a crappy gimmick, you don't need to say anything. Just be that guy. And I think at one point, like, Braun was striking him, and Lashley was like, bring it on, bring him more. It's like, yes, just be neutral.
Coaching him, wasn't he?
Don't be a bad guy, just be Bobby Lashley, which means don't do it in a kind of like, so the fans go, look, he's hard, and don't do it in a kind of dick way. Just be Lashley.
He should be... Oh, I don't think we've got the bike.
We've got the bike too. There he is!
He should be like the next Lesnar, which I thought was what they were doing when they brought him back, because I thought... Yes, we know Lesnar's a dick and everything, but he doesn't necessarily play heel or face. He's just Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe you should have done that with Lashley. Like I say, I think there was tidbits of that in this match.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Sometimes Brock is pure heel if they tell him to, but other than that, when they go,
he comes, he wrecks, he leaves.
Yeah, when he's not been heel, it's like, I'm not doing it. I'm just not having Heyman say dickhead things anymore, or attacking your heroes. I'm coming here to kick someone's ass. And I think Lashley should be that. And if they do it right, I don't know how long Lesnar's going to hang around. But if they do it right, have Lashley be that kind of character for a year, to the point when someone does maybe go, Lashley, Lesnar, you're ready for it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, these two are like cut from the same cloth kind of thing. But
speaking of the little thing on the side and everything, it's not Extreme Rules related, but did you see the picture of Luke Lesnar?
Yes, I did. I was about to say the next big
17.
thing.
I was looking at Jesus. Apparently, he's been spotted at the Performance Centre as well. I was like, what if he's like the next big?
Yeah,
he generally is the next big thing.
Wouldn't it be
amazing?
We might have the same thing.
Right, okay, I'm going to say it. Right. What if Luke Lesnar is the one to retire?
Yes.
At Mania, just think of that.
Luke retires his own life.
That would be incredible.
I mean, even if Lesnar goes away for a while and Heyman comes back with him going, we've been gone for a while because there was no challenge. And guess what? There still isn't. So we're here to, stand in the spotlight of Brock Lesnar is the biggest commodity of this organisation ever. And he's going out, not on his shield, but his own accord, because you just couldn't measure up. And then, maybe not even with any music. Luke comes down and Brock's like, the commentators can confirm who it is and whatnot. And what's your son doing here? What's he doing here? He's like, I'll fight you. And then I don't know if it'd be a good idea or not for Brock to show a little bit of compassion in that sense of like, at first going, I'm not going to fight my own son. And then as the weeks go by, Luke keeps like, I want to fight. And Brock goes, you have no idea who you're messing with, son. I would not go easy on you. I know you're my son, but I will destroy you. And Luke just goes, bring it on. Or goes, here comes the pain. They're like,
I like how we're booking this now.
It's like 5-6 years at least.
We should probably cover the present.
Fuck that. Right, back to the pay-per-view.
So then it was the SmackDown tag titles, triple threat, New Day versus Heavy Machinery versus Brian and Rowan. I enjoyed this.
Not bad.
The crowd were kind of still into it.
Not as much as I thought they should have been, but I enjoyed the match. For me, it was a shock winner because I thought it was going to be blatantly obvious that Brian and Rowan were retaining. For the New Day to take the win and get 6-time champs, I can't really grumble at it. I would have liked Heavy Machinery, but maybe it's not their time just yet. They were there to eat the pin, as far as I was concerned, but the fact that Brian ate the pin again, that's the only downside with this whole feud thing. At the moment, it seems that Brian is eating a lot of pins.
Yeah, I don't know why. No offence to Rowan. Rowan probably could have, because then they could have gone with the gimmick with Brian just yelling at Eric, "It's all your fault."
Yeah.
When we were making our predictions, I took a risk with New Day, but I looked at it and thought, it's too early for Heavy Machinery. As good as they are, because they impressed me again. They did a lot of good stuff in that match.
Absolutely.
Even the stuff like was it Otis? He teased that he was going to suicide dive or jump, and then they were
and he stopped, just hopped out and just jumped. I thought that was funny.
Then went and did a moonsault off the top rope. And he's not a small guy either.
Solid moonsault.
So I looked at Heavy Machinery like, great, but not there yet. And with Brian and Rowan, I was just thinking, they're not dropping the ball, but they're not really doing anything to elevate that.
No, they're not, and I agree. I just thought, I was trying to think like Vince and think, well, he's a massive fan of Daniel Bryan, so I thought maybe he's going to keep it on. But he didn't.
What was interesting is, I won't give too much things from Raw away because you haven't watched it all yet. Bryan was scheduled to be on a match on Raw, and at the last second they took him off. And there's been no explanation why yet. And I don't think it's an injury thing. So I don't know what's going on with Brian, because I thought Brian, when they lost the SmackDown tag titles, I thought, well, this is a perfect opportunity to put Brian back in the world title picture. Maybe not for like a rivalry, but just like a one-off match at SummerSlam. He could have approached Kofi and said, no, I want my actual rematch or something like that.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know what's going on with Brian. I'm fingers crossed it's something good. But I'm fine with New Day being the new tag champions. It was a decent match, great athlete. Roman's a great athlete, but I don't really remember not much standing out of what he did.
No,
but
I remember that thing where Brian was hitting Big E constantly right near the end, and Big E was just like absorbing it and just like.
And Otis was doing the same as well, wasn't he?
And then that went into the Midnight Hour and took the win.
Yeah, I think
that was good.
Big E's just awesome. He's like the future for me. He just keeps proving himself, himself. It's a struggle sometimes because I'm thinking like, is he good because he's that entertaining? That happy face and stuff.
Because he couldn't do that by himself. He'd have to be part of the New Day for that to make sense.
So if he turned heel, would the momentum carry on?
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, he'd be a great heel, but is the entertainment factor of why we like Big E so much right now because he's this playful giant, but can still go and still take a lot because that. Almost suicide spear he does every time. Looks awesome.
He looks great, but every time I fear, I think he's going to break his head.
He's going to break his neck, break his shoulder, something like that. But new SmackDown Tag Team Champion.
Yeah, it was good. And that followed on in the backstage. They were celebrating with Kofi. And then Heyman came out and did a little. But don't get me wrong. Heyman does amazing promos, always does amazing promos, never any dull moment.
Yeah.
But I sat there and once he was done, I thought, well, you just pretty much just did the same thing you did on Raw.
Yeah.
Will Lesnar be here? He might be, he might not be.
He just laid the groundwork.
He didn't see the point.
I think his point was like what he said at the start, like, this is Extreme Rules, this is Philadelphia, I am Philadelphia.
Maybe just to get a cheap pop.
But he just laid the groundwork up. As soon as he said, like, my client Lesnar will cash in tonight. Am I lying or am I Paul
Heyman?
He's like, okay, you got to see like that kind of thing. But then
what was after that?
The United States Championship, AJ Styles versus Ricochet.
Now this was a difficult one to call because I felt like they booked themselves into a corner here because you don't want Rick to lose on the first defence, but you don't want AJ to lose either because he's already lost before and he's built back up into a heel in the club. It was a very difficult thing to do. However, I think the way they put it together, ended up working fine. It was Ricochet overcoming most of the odds, dealing with the club every opportunity, and then it just became, unfortunately, too much for him, and AJ took it, which I'm absolutely fine with. It's just, I hope that Ricochet gets it back at some point. I don't mind the face chasing the heel. It was always a good dynamic.
Yeah, it was one of them again. Like I might put Black Cesaro just above it, but I'd still put it on the caliber of that kind of match.
It was
again one where the crowd weren't really that into it. Like, get Jack for this.
It's a great match. I really enjoyed it.
Again, Ricochet's reaction techniques are great.
Yeah, like every time he takes a clothesline, he just spins inside out.
And AJ, maybe not as much as Ricochet, because Ricochet's younger now, but he does the same.
Yeah.
They clicked, they're great chemistry, great wrestling, all flips and suplexes and whatnot. It's interesting when you bring up the club. The only three things I remember them doing was they attacked him before the bell started, which is a very heel thing to do, and AJ like laughing like as a heel would. I think they distracted the ref once, maybe twice, and at the end, Carl Anderson didn't actually do anything wrong. AJ's foot was under the rope.
It was, yeah.
All he did was
show the ref. The point is, it's just an extra thing that Ricochet has to deal with. Regardless of whether it's right or wrong, it's just he has to keep his head on a swivel.
Yeah,
and that's why I felt that it built into the story quite well.
If they wanted to do pure heel, I would have had Carl run around and put AJ's foot on the rope and go,
yeah.
But no, I'm fine with AJ being the United States champion, because I think Heyman's got that thing, like, because they've tried the club once before, and for some reason the commentators are pretending like it never happened, kind of thing. But I think Heyman's like, if we're going to do it this time, we've got to do it right. So give them gold straight off the bat, have them be smug. They need to get. Hopefully, this means Carl and Luke have the Raw tag titles too.
I wouldn't mind that.
And then, if Finn joins at a later point, maybe give them gold, maybe not. One of them would have to have
put the Intercontinental back on him.
Yeah.
Or maybe give him the WWE Championship, because I think that Finn would thrive with that.
Yeah.
Or Universal. I mean, I feel like he's overdue that.
You've got to do something big with them.
Yeah.
But allegedly after SummerSlam, I know it seemed way too soon, but another draft is happening. But this time, none of this wild card shit.
Fair enough.
It's genuine, and Heyman and Bischoff both want their shows to feel separate and different.
Okay.
Which it should.
Yes.
So when stuff like Survivor Series or WrestleMania comes around, it feels special.
Yeah, so when they actually say it's the only time they go in direct competition, it's actually a fucking fact, rather than they go other than the other 23 times in the year.
Yeah, it's like if I know.
It makes the commentators look stupid. I mean, Cole is fucking stupid. I'm sick to death of hearing them pronounce WWE. It's getting on my nerves now. It's literally every single time he opens his mouth, I don't give a fuck what he's saying. I was like, just go away. I don't want you to be there anymore. Just find someone else.
They need to do it in a sense. I know they're trying to do stuff with Kevin, which we'll get to next, and Sami Zayn's kind of there. But we've already established a Kevin-Sami rivalry. If they do a proper draft and those two are separated, and it's like 2-3 years, it's not until like WrestleMania, like show like Kevin walking backstage and he bumps into Sami, it feels so special, because it'd be like these two have got so much history and it's been so long. There could be teasing something.
If they're able to build Becky against Ronda when they're on separate brands, then they can do that with Sami and KO.
Yeah, easily. So next was Kevin Owens versus Ziggler.
Yeah, this. Now, don't be wrong. It makes a statement. Stunner, 1, 2, 3, good night. It was like instant.
Yeah.
I don't really care whether it buries Ziggler or not, because he's at that point where we know why Ziggler's there. He's there to put over talent, and if that gives a boost for KO, then fair enough.
Yeah.
My only gripe is, all the mic work he did afterwards, everything. It's all fine. My only gripe is, like we said about the Kofi Joe match, it could have gone on longer. So get rid of this match and put those minutes onto that match. That's my only gripe.
The Kevin Owens Dolph thing could have easily happened on Raw or SmackDown following.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think that's what I said as soon as it finished. I thought you could have done that on Raw or SmackDown.
What happened when he did it? It was like kind of like I agree. Dolph is there to put people over.
We know what his contract consists of. Yeah, that is exactly what it's.
Which I sometimes still feel bad for Ziggler, even though he knows his spot now. It's like I still don't want to see him get buried because he's a great wrestler. No. But if it was anybody else, I probably would have moaned. But I know what they're doing. Kevin.
We need to build him.
When Kevin grabbed the mic, I was like, right, this is what it's all about. He's going to let go off on one. Unfortunately for me, he just seemed to review his own promo, what he did on SmackDown.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything new.
Yeah, true.
So it was kind of like, I was getting ready to be like, right, Shane's fucked up by storyline now. He's got no one to stop him. Don't rip off, obviously, the Punk by the Punk, but tell it how it is. and he didn't really get going. He's kind of like, da-da-da-da-da. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's it.
Right. Yeah. I also, to follow on from it, he did put up a tweet. I don't know whether you saw it.
Oh, the pictures of people.
Yeah. Well, these are all the people that are not on the show tonight and should be. And it's like...
The Rock in there. What the fuck?
Was it?
Yeah, The Rock was in there. People who retired, it was just like... There was a lot of the roster that are there where it's like, yeah, where the fuck is like Apollo Crews and Bobby Roode? Other people were like, well, why's The Rock there? Billy Kidman, who's like retired years ago. WWE.com even did exclusive Billy Kidman, like, how do you feel about being mentioned by Kevin? I didn't watch it, but I can only imagine him going, I retired like 15 years ago. I'm technically here, I'm just not wrestling.
But yeah, so it was a means to an end. The minutes could have gone elsewhere, personally.
Yeah. Next was Joe Kofi for the title, and this was really disappointing for me because it just, to me, it didn't do anything for either of them.
No,
because
it was okay. Like match wise, it was all right.
Yeah,
but it wasn't nothing special, and it was over quicker than I wanted it to be.
Yeah,
the Trouble in Paradise, and it was. I mean, don't get me wrong. The only thing it did do was go, right, there's a person that's a big deal like Joe, or that we think him is a big deal, has been pinned cleanly by Kofi.
Yeah.
That is enough to push a bit more stock into the WWE Champion side. He hasn't beat someone like Ziggler, where we don't ever think he's going to win anyway. He's beaten someone where he could have won.
Yeah.
And he didn't. And he got pinned clean. And, it's kind of annoying for Joe. It is a bit of a clusterfuck, because I'm on the fence with it. Some things I think, it should have been this, or it should have been that. I don't know.
What annoyed me was this year seems to just be the burial of Samoa Joe.
Yeah, I'll be honest, as soon as that pin happened, I thought to myself, once again, it's proven they don't hold any stock for Joe.
Yeah,
they don't look at him. They don't see
stop.
anything in him.
No. I know Kofi did get some strikes and moves in there, but most of the match, it was Samoa Joe offensive. So when Kofi hit the Trouble in Paradise, it was like, you haven't done enough offense to Joe for that to take down Joe.
Yeah.
So when he didn't kick out, I was like, for fuck's sake. And to me, I know he's going to obviously cover up for his own benefit anyway. I think he didn't hit the face, he hit his hands, quite obviously, and Joe took the fall for that.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I get it was a weird booking anyway to have Joe lose the United States Championship the pay-per-view for and go straight to a title.
Yeah, just kind of popped up out of nowhere. But I was like, as soon as Joe was announced, okay, fine, good.
Yeah.
As long as Joe wins.
Yeah.
Or, or makes it look like they keep him strong so that he can keep a few going for a bit where Joe does eventually win. But it seems like potentially it might be a one and done. I don't know what's going to happen with SmackDown this week.
No.
But
what they tried to do, I think, was to go to prove Kofi can go. But all they did was...
And if they'd have gone for a few more minutes, they may have been able to do that.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
They were trying to kind of prove it's like, Kofi can go against this big, strong Joe.
Mm.
All they've done is prove Joe is weak and Kofi is lucky, almost. It just wasn't a believable victory for me.
Yeah.
So, they're kind of just feeding people to Kofi to kind of go, you're going to win regardless. So he's beginning for me to not feel like a real champion.
Yeah, I can see your point.
So, yeah.
It is a shame. It
is a shame because I do want Kofi to be a great champion.
And so far, up to this point, I can't really look at it and go, he hasn't been. He's been booked strong. And I don't mean by just the wins, I mean by the way he's been wrestling. He's been booked strong.
He's done nothing wrong. But maybe it's because it took so long to do it. But I still can't help but see Kofi as... That's a mid-carder holding the WWE Championship. He just doesn't feel like a main event caliber to me. He's nearly there, and he did probably have the best match at WrestleMania this year. But I sometimes look at him like... by no means am I putting it as like the Jinder Mahal thing of like, when Jinder lost, it was like, now we can get rid of him. Bye-bye, Jinder. I don't want Kofi to go away when he loses the belt, but I just don't know what they'll do with him when he does. Yeah, when some main event caliber people lose the championship, it's like, well, they haven't got the belt, but they can still be in great marquee matches. With Kofi, it's like, he'd probably be thrown to tag teams again, or maybe the United States Championship picture or something. I just don't
know what their going forward is going to be.
he doesn't seem to me as a rivalry kind of character when there's no belt involved. You know, he might.
Yeah,
he's given the right
I can see your
storyline,
point
he might be able
actually.
to.
Yeah. I suppose it depends on the storyline, but yeah, I love Kofi, but his character isn't enough to carry a feud without a belt.
Yeah. The only thing that might help it, I mean, it'd been rumoured to have someone in the New Day turn heel. Big E was the main favourite.
Yeah.
The only
and I'd
way
be fine
it
for him to be
work,
the one that takes the championship off him.
well, if Big E costs Kofi the belt, it puts Kofi in a feud that I'd be interested in because it's betrayal and all that.
Yeah, which is always good storytelling.
Yeah, without the belt having to be a factor,
Yep.
which could help him elevate to both stars to a main event caliber. But yeah, I look over to bits, but I always think I'd struggle if I was in Heyman or Bischoff's
Where to place
position.
him.
Yeah, well, if he's not champion, what do we do with Kofi?
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's overall a bit of a disappointment in the match, really.
still just feel really bad for Joe.
Again.
Final match, winner take all. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch versus Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans.
Yes, Extreme Rules match. Although it was really
they used weapons.
They used weapons, but my point is like it's an Extreme Rules match, but it still has rules applied. Like it's an Extreme Rules match, which means there's no DQ, you can't get disqualified, but they still have to tag in and out. It's like, but you don't have to abide by that rule because you can't get disqualified.
Yeah.
So straight away he's like, what are the rules?
Yeah, I mean, even the no holds barred match, they could have done whatever they wanted to, but yeah, the no holds barred is kind of like almost. Because let's face it, stuff like no holds barred, no DQ, street fight, Extreme Rules, they're all the same.
They're all the same.
So with no holds barred, I was thinking, especially with the caliber of people who are involved with Taker and all that, it's like, yeah, we can break the rules, but this is a matter of respect now. Of like, yeah, nothing can stop us. Nothing's going to stop this match, but we're going to beat you as a tag team. Yeah. Extreme Rules, it should be just chaos. It should be like the tornado rule of just no tags, nothing.
Yeah, just
go for it.
You go nuts.
But yeah, the match was okay. I didn't know that. Yeah. To me, it seemed quite last minute that Lacey's been flirting with Seth. I'm like, has she?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
She put something on Twitter like saying "See you on Sunday," Seth with a love heart or some shit. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, when she put Seth on the arse of her trunks
and then flirted with him a bit.
Yeah, she tried to, and then Becky bit the shit out of her.
When she came in with that kendo stick square around the back of the head, I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, but I mean, there's plenty of kendo stick shots, chair moments, there's tables, and all of that was great because it's but I felt like we could have got more. The mix up of the rules was a bit annoying. No one ever really believed that Seth and Becky were going to lose. Although at one point, I'll be honest, I thought to myself, what if?
Yeah, well, you did.
Yeah,
you always will.
But yeah, I didn't. Heart of hearts, I didn't believe it was going to happen.
The highlight for me was that no Corbin end of days back.
Oh, yeah. Just I was like, you bastard! And then you see Seth's face. You're like, oh, he's going to go nuts! And he went nuts on him.
I said that to Zach. Like, I've never seen Seth in proper rage mode.
Yeah, that was a really fun.
I'll give credit where credit's due because I kind of wanted Balance to do something like that for ages. Even when he saw Seth in rage mode, he's like, what are you going to do about it? He was still a dick about it, and then he got his ass whipped with like chairs,
sticks,
just all over
and then
it.
3 curb stomps to end the night.
Yeah, and then 1, 2, 3. Oh, Seth's music. Oh, that stopped. Lesnar's here.
As soon as it happened, I was like, no. I was like, you can't be kidding me. I mean, I knew it was coming at some point, but I just didn't expect it Extreme Rules, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, well, this is why I went with the cash-in things. I thought,
yeah, because I think you're the only one that did. With our predictions, everyone else said, nah.
I was just like, no one's expecting it, so it's going to happen.
Not that it matters, because I'm still champion. That's why it's a rule, but whatever.
I thought from probably Heyman's point of view, because let's face it, he's, even behind the scenes, he's probably Brock's #1 fan. From a Heyman point of view, from a company point of view, from a Vince point of view, you want to sell tickets, going to SummerSlam, you have Lesnar walking in as champ. What's annoyed me, which probably annoyed a shitload of other fans, allegedly, since Lesnar's got the belt, ticket prices have gone up. Which I'm thinking, no, because now you're just diminishing the rest of your roster again.
Yeah, that's not going to show good for Vince. Yeah. We'll keep it on Lesnar. No, don't keep it on Lesnar. I don't know who's going against at SummerSlam because I haven't watched all of Raw or anything.
I do.
My thing is, I just get it back off him straight away.
Yeah.
I don't want him to be... Because this is the thing, we're going around in circles every single year. It's Lesnar gets the belt and he ends up coming 3-4 times a year. And it means if he doesn't lose at SummerSlam, he's probably going to have that thing up until Mania. I don't see him losing it at the Rumble. I'm just getting sick to death of him with the title.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it. I can't stress how many more times I have to say this. He doesn't need the belt to be a big deal. He's Brock fucking Lesnar. Have him come 3-4 times a year like you want him to, but have him go appear to attack people and go into a big match with a big character. You don't need him in the title picture. I'm sick to death of him having it. Fine, he's Money in the Bank, he's done that, he's got the title, but lose it at SummerSlam. I don't give a fuck who it is, just lose it.
It's again, I was thinking about this, and I was kind of more on your side about it. I'm like, I could do the whole listen, so I took it, that shit. But I think I'm more on your side this time because it was at Seth's expense.
Yeah.
So it was always like, alright, so Seth took the belt off him at WrestleMania, but now you've done this, which you just told me you've had Seth holding the belt for Brock until he came back.
Exactly.
Which is like, so Seth is only just a paper champion.
Yeah, paper champion. And it's just like Seth freaking Rollins.
Well, it's like almost like they're going, Vince, they want the Universal title back in the picture. Alright, well, Brock's going to be away like half the year. We'll give it to Seth, he can defend it on the pay-per-view so the crowd are happy for a while, and then when Brock comes back, throw it to him.
It's becoming too freaking predictable now. It's getting to the point where, like you said, every time it's Mania, Rumble, SummerSlam, or Survivor Series, like the big four, 9 times out of 10, it's put Lesnar with a belt on him.
Yeah. It's
like that, we'll just have someone hold it. It doesn't really matter who it hold it, whether they're really over or whether they're not. We'll just get them to hold it until Lesnar comes back and takes it off.
What's interesting to me is, like, I'm going to say this because I know Vince isn't listening, but even if he was, I was still going to say it.
Yeah, he doesn't.
No,
if he doesn't want to watch NXT, he ain't listening to our podcast, does he?
Real men are executive producers of Raw and SmackDown. I'm hoping they go with the pure shock factor of SummerSlam, because I'm betting you there's fans out there that are thinking Kofi's going to lose the belt at SummerSlam because it's SummerSlam, and Lesnar's going to successfully defend it because what's the point? I think they're going to swerve us with both. I think Kofi will still be WWE champion, and they'll shock us, and I want Seth to be that guy for a while that Brock just can't beat. So again, Brock's going in all confident at SummerSlam, like, okay, I fucked up at WrestleMania, I was a bit overconfident, not this time, and yes, Seth still does it. Maybe again, by the skin of his teeth. I'll have a roll-up on Lesnar, I'll take it.
I'm at that point.
Just to see Lesnar's face and Heyman's face, I was like, are you shitting me? We won Money in the Bank, we got the belt back, and now he's took it back off us.
That's what I want.
Yeah, why not have that shock factor? Because I was thinking...
So it's Seth that he's going to be against Lesnar at SummerSlam then?
I presume so. Right. Well, I know, I'm not going to give away what happened on Raw, but it's... I want Seth to... they've got rid of that rematch thing.
Yes, you have to earn it now.
Yeah, but I don't like that. I do in certain cases. I was talking to Zach about this.
Yeah, this is the thing.
This is why I want Brian to have a match against Kofi.
Yeah, I do like the fact you get rid of the match clause then, because it's just kind of like it's less predictable for the next pay-per-view. My only downside is that instead of having that, they just have a match on Raw to determine the number one contender, and it ends up being the person that normally would have the rematch. Yeah. So it's irrelevant. So the same thing's happening. So it's again, it's becoming predictable. It's like, well, we know who's going to win this because it's going to be like a rematch clause type thing. It's going to seem like they've earned it, but they haven't, because they're all along they're going to get that rematch.
For example, like, I don't know if this happened or not, actually, but more often than not, if there's a title match at WrestleMania, if the belt changes hands, you're going to go, well, the very next pay-per-view is going to be the rematch. Which is why I think they got rid of the clause. Why not, instead of going like, okay, we'll have someone else at the pay-per-view, we'll just do the rematch on SmackDown or Raw?
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Because if anything, that will help the viewer ratings go up, because I've got a title match on Raw and SmackDown. Yeah. I'm turning it on. Because this is what I wanted to happen at Extreme Rules, because this is ironic. Because if Baron had won, and then Lesnar came out, we'd probably be cheering for the
Yeah, we probably would have been cheering for Lesnar, but yeah.
But what I wanted to happen was if Seth... it went down the way it did. Whenever Seth and Becky won Extreme Rules, what I would have loved to happen is Lesnar to come in, maybe a few German suplexes to Seth and do his like show off thing,
And because it's Becky, the man getting Lesnar's face.
Yeah,
the crowd would have gone mental. And then Lesnar F5 Becky. And then rage mode by Rollins towards Brock to the point Brock retreats and doesn't cash in. He's just that taken back by like Seth just swinging at him with Kane's chairs that him and Heyman just hightail it. And Lesnar could have held on to the case a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But, it's always easy in hindsight.
I mean, it was good TV for him cashing in at Extreme Rules because I didn't expect it to happen.
Yeah, shock value.
But, like I said, it's fucking Lesnar. I don't want him to be champion, so fingers crossed they'll get rid of it in SummerSlam.
Again, for shock value, if both Kofi... If they're going to continue with this Survivor Series champion versus champion thing, and if both Kofi and Lesnar are still champs... ever since they've started that, Lesnar's gone in, had great matches with the likes of Styles and Bryan and whatnot, but always won. I think if Kofi, not like dominantly, but somehow got a victory over Brock, like that would be the shock.
Don't get me wrong, it'd be an amazing shock. Yeah. I'd be all over it, but it ain't gonna happen, is it? Think about it. It's Vince. It ain't gonna happen.
That again, I'd be okay with a roll up. If Kofi just to be like, because again, I hate that Lesnar wouldn't lose his belt because the belt's aren't on the line.
Yeah.
But it'd be like, holy shit, Kofi Kingston has a victory over Brock Lesnar. Way to go, Kofi, kind of thing. So
as long as Lesnar is not champion at WrestleMania, I am fine because it's been 5 years on the trot? The only time he wasn't was when he went against Ambrose. Every other time he's been champion, hasn't he?
Everything.
For the last 5-6 years.
He wasn't 30 because he went against Taker. 29 he went against Triple H. So 31 he was, 33 he was, 34 he was, 35 he was, yeah. So
like, just not at Mania this time. Please, not this time. Have him in a big match, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't need the belt, and I don't want him as champion at Mania again. I really don't. Just put it on other people that deserve it and need it, and they're the people that need to be built up in this company, rather than putting it on someone that is a big enough character and a legitimate threat that doesn't need a championship.
And despite me liking him at the minute, not Roman Reigns.
No.
That has been done to death.
No, yeah, same here. He's been done to death as well. Keep him off the championship.
I like what
year.
Roman's doing at the minute.
Build up, so maybe put him in the championship role the following WrestleMania.
Just not against
but
Brock.
Not this time.
I can have, if you want to put Roman in the title picture at any event, even if it is WrestleMania, fine. Just not against Brock.
No.
It has been done so many times and it hasn't worked. There have been brutal matches and somewhat enjoyable, but there have been matches the crowd was pissed on at the time because they didn't want to see it.
Yeah.
And Seth had to save the first one by cashing in.
That was
awesome, but So that was it.
So that's... overall, it's a mixed bag, this one.
Yeah, I was thinking of the rating. I think I'll give it a solid 7.
See, for me, I was going 6. I feel like you and me are starting to do like a bit of a turn here, because you used to be a little bit more pessimistic and always being positive, but now it's getting to the point where your points are going to get higher than mine.
I think it was purely because the only matches that really disappointed me were Joe and Kofi by no fault of their own, really. It's just, with the way it was going, it wasn't going to work anyway. And the Raw Tag titles. The handicap, obviously, is passable.
I would have given it a 7, if not potentially an 8. My only downside is that there's a couple of things I looked at it and I thought, meh, could have got more out of that, or this was boring, or whatever. And then the matches that I really did enjoy, the crowd weren't invested, and that pissed me off.
Well, yeah, there was... Well, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm sticking with 6.
It was, I think, I'll stick with 7 because of the 4 matches they were invested in, but it made it better. The last man standing, the first match, the last match, and the triple threat tag. And the 2 matches that they weren't invested in, or 2 of the matches were invested in, Ricochet, AJ, and Black Cesaro, still delivered for me.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't be go back. I've said this all the time. Like sometimes at home, I'll feel off the energy of the crowd on television. And I would have liked to, but at that point I was like, I'm not going to take anything away from this match because the crowd are into it.
I get your point.
So I'm going to go with 7.
Okay, well, I'm sticking with 6.
Yeah.
Cool. So like, subscribe. We're on the usual stuff: YouTube, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and Apple Music. I think it's not iTunes anymore, is it? Because
I don't know what it is.
It's dead or whatever it is.
We'll be back for SummerSlam.
Sometimes in 4 weeks' time.
Yeah. I think we'll be on schedule. I know my birthday's pretty much that weekend. So
yeah, it is. So I mean, we're watching SummerSlam live. I don't think we're watching anything, watching it at home somewhere, but watching it on the Sunday.
Yeah.
So we could probably do it on the Monday.
Well, the Monday will be my birthday. So I'll probably be busy.
So. All right. We'll do it on Tuesday. All right, never mind. So in about 4 weeks, we'll be back for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And, if the resolution sounds not amazing on the YouTube clip, we apologise. It's just we're having a couple of technical difficulties. But everywhere else should be absolutely fine.
I'm not having technical difficulties.
No, of course you're fucking not.
You are.
You come here, you talk, you fuck off, and then I do the hard graft.
We used to do it at Mine Boy, so let's...
I'm still doing the hard graft!
I don't give a shit. We're leaving. Goodbye.
We're having a tiff.
Yeah, see you
right.
later.